Hey, it's Pastor Dan from Dexter Gospel Church with a Proverbs Practical. Thanks for watching. Today's proverb points out a feature of corrupt governments and administrations. We're in Proverbs 29, verse 12, and it says, "If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked." Now, that's a pretty harsh statement about an administration. It seems like everybody's being condemned there. And there's an immediate impulse, I think, to argue against this and say, well, surely not. All of his servants are wicked. Not everybody working for him is bad. But remember first that this is a proverb. It's not intended to make an absolute statement so much as to make a poetic observation about a truth. And secondly, realize that this might be closer to the literal truth than we realize or expect. In the first place, if a ruler is prone to being deceived, and it seems like the word hearken, if he hearkened to lies, implies a sort of deliberate listening. Rather than being passively fooled, he's almost actively seeking out things that are deceptions. Well, if someone is like that, it ends up shaping their administration. There are rulers who choose to believe whatever they want to believe, regardless of the truth. So they're looking for someone to tell them what they want to hear. And they fill their administration with people who say things that they want to hear, not necessarily the cold, hard truth. Now, if that's the case, then the ruler is eventually going to weed out the uncomfortable truth speakers. He won't like them. They say things he doesn't like or agree with, so he fires them and replaces them. He gets rid of the people who say what he doesn't want to hear. And that eventually skews his whole administration into lies and error. If he's on the throne or in the office long enough, eventually everyone under him is more attached to his opinions and desires than they are to the truth and reality, and that's a recipe for disaster. I think there are administrations in the world today shaping world affairs in which entire staffs and cabinets are wicked because the leader or ruler put in place only people who would say what he wanted to hear. Another way an administration can end up like this is if there is no one with the courage to speak truth. So the ruler may want to do what's right or simply be naive, but may not be perceptive enough to sort it out unless he hears the truth spoken plainly. In that case, a smooth-spoken deceiver with no voice to counter him can lead the whole administration astray. But that only works if there's nobody among the king's other servants who will stand up and tell the truth. This could happen inadvertently to any leader in any administration a time or two. That is, even the best-meaning, smartest person can be deceived from time to time, even if others try to counter that. But the verse doesn't say that if the leader hearkens to one lie. It says if he hearkens to lies. That is, he makes a pattern, a consistent habit of doing this. It's describing a pattern where he's constantly believing things that are false and nobody speaks up to prevent it. However it happens, anytime a ruler or a leader is given over to falsehood, it's not just an indictment on them, it ends up as an indictment on his or her whole administration, on everyone who works for him or her. This should inform us about who we want to work with and where. If someone seems to deliberately accept lies as truth, even in the face of evidence and argument to the contrary, we probably don't want to be on their staff. Sure, if they're open and receptive to truth, maybe we can be the voice that speaks it. But most of the time, it's a deliberate choice to reject truth and seek out lies that validate what they want to think or do. And if we sign up with that, eventually we will be cast out for countering them or brought down or labeled with the wickedness that we choose to join. So let's prioritize truth in our personal dealings and our political dealings. It's a terrible thing when a wholly wicked administration is in power. I hope this video is a help to you. If it is, give it a like, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more content from the Scriptures. Until next time, I hope you stay well and prioritize truth.